Hey, it's LaJune, Mind, Health, and Wellness with LaJune. We are celebrating Women's History Month. Today's host, facilitator, her plum, Natasha. Natasha, take it over, take it over, take it over.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. I'm Natasha, the founder and CEO of Her Plum. I'll get into what Her Plum is, of course, but want to be able to introduce two amazing people on this call, um, for them to be able to introduce themselves. So I'll start with Yesenia Montague. She's also a native New Yorker. I'm a New Yorker as well. And so I want to be able to share for her to share a little bit about what she does, why she's here today. And we'll start with you, Yesenia.
Great, thank you. Thank you for having me, first of all. Um, so, geez, I'm like, which direction do I go? I'm an author, a mom of two. They're grown, but to me, they'll always be little. See them there behind me, but that's a whole other story. Definitely, I'm a business owner. I own two different businesses. One of them is doing events. The other one is doing workshops, which is part of my personal coaching, which I just launched recently. And I have a workshop coming up next month. No, this month. Oh, wow. Time is going by way too fast. We're in March already. And, I love any opportunity to be able to share and connect and learn, right? I think for me, the biggest factor is to be able to learn. So I'm looking forward to this conversation and whatever input I can share based on my experiences and my learned and learning of life.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Yesenia. We're glad to have you here.
Thank
So
you.
we'll jump right in and turn it over to Hillary. Hillary, please share a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself.
Well, hello, ladies, and happy Women's History Month. I'm glad to be here. I am in Chicago. I work with women leaders over 40 who are looking for ways to improve their emotional and physical health. I'm a certified lymphologist, so my main focus is the lymphatic system's health in relation to everything else. And I'm big right now on love, the effect of love on our health, being able to love and forgive. And so I'm an author. I wrote a book. It's You've Got the Power, 7 Ways to Transform Your Health and Peace. I've also been a show host and podcast host, and I'm a speaker as well. I'm a pastor. So it's a lot of things in the fire, but as far as this space, I'm in coaching and coaching women and just trying to help them to get their health in order and have peace in their body and in their mind and in their bodies. So that's what I do. That's who I am, and I'm just glad to be here today.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So glad to have you both here. So glad to have LaJune here. I will share a little bit about myself. I don't think I introduced myself completely in the work that I do. And so, Her Plum is a feminine hygiene and wellness company that I've started that's combining menstrual health and mental health, really helping women and empowering women to connect with their bodies, understand the emotions that they're feeling, being able to breathe through them, and then tying that into their menstrual cycle. So, using better products as well as tapping into how do I take care of myself fully, right, from a cycle perspective. And so for me, as you were saying, Hillary, love and connecting with yourself and understanding your body and all the things are super, super important to me. And guess what? That starts with self-love. So I love everything about what you both are saying. And so I'm so glad for us to start this conversation. But first off, I want to be able to say the fact that we all came on this show with red on. So and that was not planned. It was truly, we were all telepathically connected. And so I'm glad that we are here today celebrating Women's History Month, connected from a color perspective and connected just from us all being in this space of feeling love and wanting to own businesses and lead in a way that's intentional. So, starting off, really, I want to be able to kind of take a step back and really understand this month is really about Women's History Month, right? And we all making contributions. So I want to be able to understand from you both, what does Women's History Month mean to you, right? And how do you kind of honor it daily in your daily practice in your business? So we'll start with you, Hillary.
Well, I focus on women. Do I only work with women? No, but I know the walk of the woman, right? Carrying so many hats, doing so many things. Usually, by nature, it's just how God made us, and a lot of times we forget to in, include ourselves on the to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore our health can suffer, and our health, like you're saying, it's not just our physical health, our emotional health, our mental health can suffer for it. And so, and this has been through the ages, and so I think more we speak about it more now than ever before, is taking care of yourself, loving yourself, and being unapologetic about it. I'm just glad that God put me in that realm. And I don't think we can get enough help with that, because the journey of women is going to be what it is to ages to come. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. I love that. Yesenia, how about you? How are you honoring Women's History Month, and what does it mean to you?
So I think for me it has evolved. It changes, and evolve is probably the best word, because given my background and my history and the things I've gone through, which is part, just a slither of what I wrote in my first book, um, I had an old fashioned definition of what a woman was or supposed to be, right? And the evolving of that has been amazing, because it's been eye opening, and also has allowed me to own my power and understand the power, right? To understand that, like, this is magical. We are magical
Yeah.
in every sense of the word. We're just our capabilities. And again, it's not to exclude men. So I'm glad, Hillary said she doesn't only work with women, and same, right? A lot of what I do is to include, because it's partnership at the end of the day. But if we don't own who we are, then we cannot be in partnership. Um, and so for me, it's, honoring Women's History Month is really honoring it. It is an everyday 365. It's acknowledging and working on myself to recognize the power that we have, and also raising a son as well as a daughter, but raising a son and sharing with him at that level, not from a men are supposed to and women are supposed to, more of a here's how we do it. And here is, this is about a woman, right? This is what you get to learn, and exposing him, for example, and not like, oh no, you don't need to know that, that's only for women.
Right.
So it's such a multi-level, it's an everyday job, and it's beautiful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be where I am now, with the awareness that I have now.
Yeah, yeah. I can feel that. I can feel that. LaJune, how about you?
So for me, I've definitely learned probably over the past 3 years, we as women, we take on the role of being strong and taking care of everybody. And we sometimes don't tap into our emotions. We don't tap into how we're feeling. We don't tap into, I'm tired, I'm drained. We've been taught to keep going, keep going, keep going. And I've learned, you know what, it's okay to be still. It's okay to not be okay and not have to
Right.
explain that, oh, well, X, Y, and Z is wrong with me. No, sometimes we genuinely don't know what's wrong, but it's okay. And checking in with ourselves. So I think for me, that has been something I've learned. Hillary has definitely helped me in so many levels last year with my lymphatic system and being able to connect with other women and not look at women as my competition because Hillary and I do two different things.
Mhm.
So, being able to connect with her and her, being available and saying, you know what, I got you, sis. How can I help you? So I think for me, that's what women's history has been all about from history of women helping women. But I think now we have fallen off because women are looking at women as competitions. Why? You are your only competition. No other woman is your competition.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that. And you know what? One thing that actually came to me as everyone was talking was something that feels near and dear to me, which is for Women's History Month. For me, it's about not only supporting other women, but it's supporting our communities, right? And that's truly everything in the ecosystem, right? It's how are we one taking care of ourselves, because if we don't take care of ourselves first, then nothing else, right, will fall into place. But really it's how do we support the education of men, how do we support the education of children, not only the education, but the mental health, the emotional education that folks need to learn to be able to tap into how do we help our community, how do we listen to understand, right? And so that actually leads me into kind of the big question, which is as you lead and kind of give to community, how are you taking care of yourself so that you're not like burning out? And we'll start with LaJune because I think you kind of touched on that a little bit.
I would say for me, I will take breaks. I'm only right now coaching families with their kids on behavior, emotions, and things like that. And I had to take a break because working with women, because I was empty. I had nothing to give, nothing to, share with somebody. And when you're a coach, you're taking on so many other people's trauma, emotions, things like that. And I said for myself, I don't have it right now. And I'm okay with not having that because when my cup is full, oh, you better be ready, ladies, because I am not playing. So that was the thing that I had to make the decision. I had previous clients coming to me asking me if I was still coaching, and I was like, not right now. But I realized over these years that my cup is important. And my cup was 100% bone dry, and I couldn't give nobody anything. So I think you have to realize that when my therapist takes vacations or breaks or whatever, I applaud her. I'm not like, oh my gosh, why are you taking breaks? No, I know you're working with different personalities. I know personally myself when I'm coming to you, I already know. But I think those things are important and to be okay with instead of just looking at it as I got to chase money. I got to chase money because the more you run after the money, the more it slips out of your fingers, out of your bank account, or however you want to look at it.
Yeah, yeah. And we actually like don't even take that into account sometimes as we're kind of being busy all the time. We're just like we really need to kind of figure out how do we tap in to prevent burnout, right? So Yesenia, how about you?
That's a tough one. I'm like, do I say actually, or do I come up with something on the
Say
fly?
it.
Say
We're
the
saying it.
truth.
I can't lie. It's like that's a thing for me. I'm like, I just can't. I'm. I will say I'm doing better and learning how to. For example, I go and we have a personal trainer that I go to twice a week, and that is an improvement for me because yes, we're taught to your point, LaJune, to just go, go, go.
Yeah.
I can handle it. I can fix it all. It comes easy to me. So it's like, I got it. So I am, it's what I am noticing is now there is an effort. There's again, an awareness to do something, to put a foot soak while I'm watching something. So it's the little things that I'm starting to learn, and learning to say no. That's a huge one for me, especially to my kids. That one, that's a learning. I got to really like ground myself to be like, okay, you can't, because I would take myself to the point where it's like, the universe will be like, all right, you're not going to take off. I'm going to make sure you do. And I'd end up sick in bed for a few days. And that drives me crazy. So I'm like, all right, I'll start learning to pause so that you don't do it for me. So
Yeah.
it is learning, and it is learning that even the little things, because for me it's the extreme. Oh, I have to take 2 weeks off. No, it's doing a little bit at a time.
Yeah. I agree. I agree 100%. Hillary, how about you? How are you preventing
Mhm.
burnout?
Well, for me, what I've been through the last few months is not. I wasn't showing up, and I was feeling like, what is going on with you? I was at a spiritual conference about a week ago, and I got a breakthrough that I didn't know I needed. And then I just finished yesterday a 30-day challenge with a group of business Christian business women, and we were meeting every morning for prayer, 6 a.m. And it just ended yesterday, and it was all about favor and abundance. And then I got this message from June, do you want to do this tomorrow? And I was like, this is nothing but God saying, get back in. It's time to spring forth and get back in. That was the name of that conference that I went to. And so I just know things are aligning, but we have to be that awareness. Sometimes God will sit you down,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and we
Mm-hmm.
have to be okay with that. That I'm hearing that pushing through, pushing past. Sometimes I was just reading about how that affects our liver. I mean, sometimes we just don't think about how the mental and emotional stuff can affect us physically,
Yeah.
literally. So, I'm just big on, I talk about love. I love God, I love myself, and I love people. And
Mhm.
that helps me throughout the day. Sometimes I have to say it. And when it comes to my mind, I just say it. I love God, I love myself, and I love people. And
Yeah.
sometimes I have to say particular people's names. It's just to keep the peace, Lord, because and I love so and so by name, and God helps to deal with that so I can keep my peace in doing what He called me to do, in with love.
Yeah, yeah. So sometimes it does take that extra push, right? To say, no, 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 let me not kind of operate this way. I want to operate this way. Let me be very intentional and take the guidance from the main man upstairs, right? And so I think a lot of that is really taking a step back so that you're able to listen and hear the messages that you're receiving, and then being able to tap in and continue to move forward with intention. And so for me, by trade, I'm actually a CPA. And so in working for corporate America, I was doing a lot of long hours and not really taking care of my physical health, my mental health, nothing relating to health, to be honest. I was just fully engrossed in work, work, work. And it wasn't until I actually tapped into yoga that it
Mhm.
allowed me to say, hold on a second, I am not only burnt out, I am done. I am drained. I can't do anything else. And it allowed me to learn, certain tactics in order for me to be able to say, I need 5 minutes for myself here. I'm going to put this 5 minutes in my day. I need to go to bed earlier. I need to say no to those things that's going to burn me out. And so at that time when I was working in corporate America, I did say, you know what? Now that I have this kind of yoga hat on and these tools now that I've received through yoga, I can say, guess what? Nobody is dying if we don't get these financials out tonight. You know, it's it's not life or death. And when you do say it like that, it relaxes your whole body. It gives you a bit of mental clarity for you to be able to say, okay, what do I need to do next? And be able to share with leaders and your team on, you don't have to be in this kind of anxiety mode to execute. You can be calm and operate with clarity and still get the job done, right? So that kind of leads me into, what are the intentional things that you're doing today that you've learned based on your previous experience that you would encourage other women to do to support their mental health, to support their physical health? What would you share with women? Yesenia, we'll start with you.
Okay. So this that we're doing right now, it is sharing. I've learned whenever, if we're talking women specifically, when we get in a group and we start sharing the things that we learn from one another, the insights are just, it's amazing. The growth that happens just in a small talk around a dinner table. Um, Authentic conversations and struggles, right? Because you hear the struggles and you're like, oh, it's not just me, or oh, I didn't see it this way. And so I would say have moments, right? Create moments with other women, uh, even if it's, I know there's and it doesn't even have to be, I mean, literally you can do a Google search and be like, talk topics, and just put something on the table. But it doesn't take much. You don't even need that. I mean, for us, it really doesn't take much. It's somebody's day, and out of that it just goes. So I would absolutely encourage connection, conversation, for sure.
Yeah, that's a good one, because I do think that we don't have enough conversation that helps us to learn and to be able to say, oh, I didn't know this. Okay, maybe what is this person doing that I maybe should utilize in my own life, and how will that actually show up for
Yeah,
me
I
in the
mean,
future?
and it back to LaJune's point, and because you brought it up, it is that competition isn't even real, right? There's just when it's authentic sharing, that's where you're like, oh wait, and it's like a ripple effect.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we need to do more of it, especially in today's world. I think it's super important. And back to Hillary's point, it's love, like that's what's going to keep us going.
Yeah. Hillary, how about you?
Yeah, it was. I was just thinking of how when I was working, I'm retired. I was a CFO of a behavioral health center during the times when I was coming out, when the state wasn't funding and it was a non-for-profit. Places were closing up around us. Oh my God, it was a really hard time. And I found my peace in being able, in my connection to God. You know, Lord, this is your problem. I don't know how you're gonna work it out, but I believe you're gonna work it out. And they would say, Miss Hillary, did you get any sleep last night? I tossed and turned. I said, oh, I slept fine. And I was like, God, I just love you so much. But one of the things that he spoke to me too, you talked about working in long hours and all of that. Excuse me for that noise if you hear it. I I was at my desk one night, and I've taken this with me, and I give this nugget out to others. And I was working. It was late, 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 late. Everybody was gone, and I heard within myself, "Save some for yourself." And I
Yeah.
knew exactly what it meant. Save some of me for myself,
Mhm.
because I was
Mhm.
giving it all away at that job. I mean, I would just pour it all out there, and get
Mhm.
home and then have nothing left, just want to go to bed. And so I taken that nugget because I retired in 2019, but have taken that nugget and still use it and still pass it along. We are great. One of you mentioned earlier about being able to do all the things, like Superwoman, cape flying in the breeze. I got this. But we need to save some of that goodness, that greatness for ourselves.
Yeah.
Even if it's those moments, enjoy your moments of having coffee and just sitting still, getting on the phone, talking to somebody, and being okay without worried about what's the kids running around or whatever. You know, save some of that goodness, that greatness for yourself, and how what that looks like is going to be different for everybody. Get out of the house and take a walk to the end of the block, a
Right.
leisurely walk. Something to get away from what's distracting and what's taking up that pulling from you.
Yeah.
So that's
I,
what I want to say.
I love that actually, because we don't kind of take a step back and sit and listen to the messages sometimes, and to receive that message that says take some for yourself, take some of that energy for yourself. That imagine that you didn't even think for yourself. Hold on, I need to take some time for me. You had to
Save some.
yeah, save
Don't
some.
just give it all away. Save
Correct.
some of that. Yeah.
Correct. And it's so important how and this is my personal experience, and it'll be great to hear you guys on as well. But the more I tapped into praying, listening to God, feeling the connection, taking the pauses, you do hear those messages, right? On, hey, hold on a second, what do I need to do? Oh, you need to sleep. We sleeping. That is it. That's it. You said to rest, no problem. You said to rest. You said to go on vacation right now because something big is happening. Okay. And you realize that things actually fall into place, and you don't even realize that it is. Why? Because you took a pause, you listened, you saved some energy for yourself. So, LaJune, how about you?
Whew, jeez. You all said some very powerful stuff. I was also that person that wanted to save everybody else and be there for everybody else. And I learned that because Hillary talked about love, I learned that I was showing more love for other people than I was showing for myself. And all the things we say we want from other people, the question is, are you giving those things to yourself? Because women will say, oh, I want a man that's this tall, that's fit, that eats well, he's healthy, he has X, Y, and Z. Are you embodying that yourself?
Yeah.
Because you're asking for something, but are you the same? Are you financially stable in a good place? Do you love yourself? Are you happy? Because, the thing of it is, we always hear when you're not happy and you're not in a good place, I want to make you happy. How about we make ourselves happy and then we pour into the other person's happiness and we make our happiness together? So, those are the things that I had to learn for myself because I had so much trauma in my life that I was avoiding what was going on internally and just had the mask on of, okay, I gotta, make people happy. And when you sit in that stuff, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
And me and Hillary connected, and we had a lot in common because I used to work in mental health and behavioral health. I used to be sick every week.
Yeah.
I was so stressed out. I would be sick every week because I was carrying everybody's stuff and also my internal stuff that I hadn't dealt with. Um, I would say especially last year, God was like, either you gonna sit down or I'm gonna sit you down. And he set me down twice because he was like, oh, you gonna keep going, going, going. Okay, boom, car accident. Okay, you still ain't do it. So now it's August. Boom, another car accident. And then you know when the enemy is messing with you, because I was connecting more with God, and the enemy said in November, oh no, I don't like you connecting with God, so I'm gonna have to shake your life up and have you questioning him again like you were previously.
Mm,
So you have to discern when God is trying to set you down and talk to you to be still and make time for yourself, compared to, okay, I'm connecting with God. Why is this stuff still happening? Because the enemy is saying, I don't want you to have that connection. I like when you have confusion in your life. So you can come over to me. So I would say movement is another thing. I'm big on movement. I can't really do it right now, but movement is big. Just moving is just so, it's therapeutic.
Yeah.
And when you have that movement, it is a wonderful thing. It just gets rid of everything you're holding on to.
yeah, yeah, I feel that because, in my time so far, I've realized how important being active is, how important intentional praying is, how important like rest is, right? And so for me, I say, hey, as soon as I wake up in the morning, Tasha, how are you taking care of yourself, right? I'm
Mhm.
praying. That's number one. Thank you for waking me up today. But two, it's how do I make sure that I'm physically strong? And so I work out. I lift weights. Sometimes I go for a walk, right? A meditative walk,
Mhm.
just to kind of tap in and again stay connected. And then also sometimes it's just what exactly do you need after you do these workouts? Do you feel like you need to talk to a friend? Do you want to release something? Is there something that you was holding on from the previous day? It's really again being intentional about the conversations that I have. It's being intentional about my physical, emotional, spiritual health. It's really how I start my day. It's making sure that I'm I'm active and vibrant when I wake up. And if I'm not, sometimes when you first wake up, you're like, nobody touching me, please, because because I just woke up. What do you need, right? But but having a different attitude to someone wants to talk to me today, and this is great, right? Or telling yourself, hold on, I can't talk to people today because I need to take a moment for me, right? So it's noticing what you need and being able to act upon those as soon as you wake up in the morning. God, thank you so much for waking me up today. Let me take care of myself first so that I can help my community, during the rest of the day. So with all the wisdom in this room, you know, what responsibility do you believe that women carry to create like safe spaces and opportunities for other women? And we'll start with Hillary.
Well, being a friend
Mm,
um, without motives,
mhm,
without um, I'm not finding the word that I want to say, but being a friend for real,
yeah,
you know, there's no attachments to my friendship to you. Being able to be that kind of friend, and it being able that and that helping you to attract that
yeah,
kind of friend to yourself. Um, that is just so important, and it's so it seems basic, but when you get a friend, and sometimes people are friends from childhood,
mhm,
but then you can make friendships at this stage, wherever stage you are, but just being open to be a friend and to receive friendship, like LaJune was saying, not in any kind of competition.
mhm,
You look in the mirror for that. I'm in competition with you. We're gonna do better today than we did yesterday.
mhm.
And even in being a better friend, being there for just being open to that. I think that's where it really starts. One on one to a small group, or however the Lord leads.
Yeah, yeah, you tap on that, and that actually spoke it, to something within me, which is we're all on this planet for the first time, right? Even in this present moment, 11:47, right? Neither of us have ever been here, right? And so when you are engaging with friends, it's realizing that we're all having experiences for the first time. We're all learning for the first time. And so supporting each other intentionally and from a place of love, right? From a place of I'm helping you on your journey. I'm also learning as I'm on my own journey. And so let's just help each other, right? There's no judgment. There's no you should or you shouldn't do this, right? That's not, real friendship. Real friendship is really how can I support you along? Because we're all on different paths, but we were able to vibrationally get here together. And and so how can we support each other to the next stage as we continue to learn and grow? So I love that you said that because that's so important. True friendship is really how you create safe spaces for people to be themselves and to honor who they are. So I love that. Thank you so much, Hillary. Yesenia, I saw you smiling as we were talking.
Well, I'm hearing and I'm like, because for me, it's like everyone here has said already, almost like, I don't know if it's what we're responsible for, but I think I'm going to go back to what Hillary said, and it's loving ourselves,
Mm.
right? Because when we love ourselves, then we're not in competition. We don't think we're competing with anyone. Because if we're loving ourselves, we're able then to love each other, right? And we create that safe space because there is no competition, right? And so that I'm hearing, and it's like, okay, all of us here have said something towards how we're responsible. And I think if based on what I'm hearing, we're all doing it, right? We're all being that person to support other women and other people, period. So I'm smiling because I'm like, yeah, we're doing it, right? Where we understand, or at least there's a level of awareness to that will create that space for others, for other women, for other people to to again to just get to that point where we're at peace, right? That word that Hillary introduced really early on, being at peace, which we need so much of. And so when we are who we are, when we are comfortable with who we are, when we are resting, when we are taking care of ourselves, then we can be that for others. And it's almost like it starts running, operating. It's like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Self care is the most important part of really how do you help your community, right? You have to be able to help yourself, but to be able to have intentional, honest conversations with your community, right? So that they feel safe, and then they create that for their community, and then it's kind of like a heirloom, right? It's conversations and creating safe spaces for other people. How about you, LaJune?
I would say definitely everything that you guys said. For me in the beginning, I never wanted to talk about. I don't know if I was in that strong era and I didn't want to talk about being sexually assaulted because I felt like even I was molested as a child. I was sexually assaulted and I was knocked out on muscle relaxers, but I felt like I wasn't strong enough to protect myself. And as I got older, I started to realize, sometimes you go through to be a testimony for so many other people who don't know how to find their voice or don't know how to really come to terms that it wasn't their fault, that somebody took advantage of them in whatever way. And I knew that sexual assault was one of the areas I wanted to work in. Another area, women and kids finding their voice, because many a times when we're not heard, we lose our voice and we don't feel that our voice is important. And I knew, no, I wanted to let any woman, any child, any man, know your voice matters. You
Mhm.
deserve to be heard. You deserve to be seen. So I would say that is one of my purposes, is to help people understand. I don't care if you have on some toothpaste that it gives nobody the right to take advantage or take your body from you.
Correct.
So that's the thing that I just had to educate somebody on, that because they were talking about, their family member had on something inappropriate, and that's why she was raped. And I said, I don't care if she had absolutely nothing on. If she said no, that response is no, and that person should have respected that. So that took away from her being heard by somebody she loved and trusted, because it was her boyfriend. So I would say that's my purpose, and I appreciate meeting so many wonderful women like yourselves, that talks about things in regards to healing women who experience so much trauma, such as Hillary with the lymphatic system, because I had never heard about no freaking lymphatic system and how it impacts your body until I met her. And I was like, oh, wow. So I tapped into her after my car accidents, because my body's inflamed, my nervous system, my lymphatic system. That's all I kept hearing going to appointments. Your lymphatic, your nervous system is jacked up. And I was like, and my friend said, LaRonda, I'm gonna say your name because she gonna be like, well, I said it. And I was like, well, let me tap into Miss Lymphatic Queen. And she helped me so much. Um, Nicola Prosperous put me in connection with you, and I've learned so much about incontinence. And I was just like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
My Latin sister Yesenia, I met her through Coach Tamika Lloyd, because I wanted somebody on talking about sexual assault awareness. We do something almost every year, and her having the strength, which is hard when you've experienced it, to have that voice to say, I am not what happened to me. I am not my past. And
Hmm.
I think that is also another purpose that women have to understand. You are not in that house anymore. You moved out. You're in a whole new house. So don't keep going back to that house, because that house no longer is there. So I think I know that is my purpose, even though it's hard at times to connect with God. You put me through this so I can help other people. I don't like it, but I get where you're trying to go. So I think that is, 100% of what my purpose is, because I never want to see a woman get into her 30s and 40s, or a boy get into their 30s and 40s, that have experienced half the stuff that I experienced in life. I want them to come to terms and heal and get the coaching and the therapy, get their lymphatic in perfect now,
Yeah.
whatever age you are. So that is my purpose. Also, connect them with people, because I'm always connecting somebody to somebody and
Hmm.
having somebody on. And Natasha, I honestly had forgot because I had so many appointments. When she sent me the message, I was like, "You got people?" She was like, "No, I got questions." I was like, "Okay, let me scrub and find people." And I was afraid what was gonna happen. I'm texting all these people, and they were gonna come back and say, "Oh yeah, I can do it." And I'm like, "Okay, I can't be on here for long." So, and I did get some people come back and was like, "Oh, I can jump in." I'm like, oh, "Okay, we already got 4 people. I don't need you to jump in. I'm good." But I would have had them on because I asked. So I thank you for this. I thank you for connecting us. I thank you for the questions that you've had for us, because it does open up things, and it does, because Nick literally asked me, "Hey, what's going on with the podcast?" And I'm like, "Girl, my cup is dry. I don't have it to give." But I am a woman always of my word. And you and I had talked about this a while ago, and I was like, let me find the people let
Yeah.
me deliver. And, definitely love Hillary so much. I thank you, Yesenia. You and I was just talking about this last one. So I had to reel you in. So you have any more questions? Because a little bit I kind of got to go. So,
I wanted to be able to ask one last one, which is what message would you guys give to other women who are afraid or who are following their dreams and need some encouragement? What would you say to them today? So we'll start with Hillary.
You got the power.
I love that.
You got the power to help your body, help your mind, to help you do whatever it is that you have in your heart to do. You got the power to do it.
I love that. I love that. How
Mm,
about you,
mm.
Yesenia?
I mean, listen, that's powerful. I felt that one. I
Yeah.
felt that one, Hillary. I'm like, man, she kind of encompassed it all. Yes, intuition, which we tapped on. You know, the June said it. You're not your past. You're not your circumstances. You are the power. You have the power. Listen, listen. Take the moments to find, to listen and reach out. There's
Yeah.
always someone available. Always.
LaJune, what's your message to women out there?
my message is just do it in fear, no matter how it looks, no matter how it feels. Just do it, because I started my podcast and my business, and there was no planning, no structure. I just did it. So no matter how it looks, take away the perfectionism, take away of overthinking, take away of talking to whoever, because whoever might want to keep you where you are. So talk to somebody who's doing what you want to do and can help you evolve in your next level. So that's what I say. Just step out there and don't be, and do it scared. It don't even matter.
Yeah.
Do it messy. Do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was actually going to say the exact same thing, which also ties into what everyone else was saying, which is do it scared. But also on the other side of fear, there's accomplishment, right? And so once you push through that, obviously taking into account that you do have to rest and take care of yourself and all these things. But when you're able to push through fear, then you're able to see, wow, these are the things that I can do. And you're able to kind of get to that next level. So push through fear, remove fear and doubt, and really operate from a place of courage and bravery. And with that, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you for being here with me today. Thank you for the really just the energy, but mostly just the connection of us coming together and talking about something real and sharing messages to other women that are similar to us who are having these conversations, to continue to be the people who are cheering each other on, not only for Women's History Month, but every single day, in every single year going forward. So thank you all for being here with me today. And I hope you have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, so much for jumping on last minute. Thank you, Natasha, for making this come to life. Thank you, thank you. And I wish you guys a great rest of the week. And we will connect soon, because you guys know I just sometimes just plan stuff. But this was all Natasha. So thank you, Natasha.
Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
right, bye,
Thank you for
ladies.
being here. Bye.